It exists in everywhere in our body, toothbrush, our food, and skin. And we know unicellular organisms that have no nucleus organisms. And it divides into kinds. Number one, bacteria and archaea. So it needs a nucleus and a membrane that covered organisms like mitochondria. And we know the mitochondria supporting the cell by energy, stored energy. Now we will discuss the harmful and advantage for bacteria of the organisms. It's harmful when it can cause disease. Poisoning, for example. It can cause poisoning and infections, strep throat, especially in the winter. Now, some bacteria and archaea are useful. Some bacteria and archaea are useful and helpful to other organisms. Here we have to refer to note. There are many bacteria live with us. Many bacteria live with us and no harmful effect. No harmful effect. Let's see. Let's take an example. We have a lot of examples. The termite rely on bacteria. The termite, a kind of ant, rely on bacteria to break down the eaten wood. It eats wood, and the bacteria breaking down the wood. Other example. Let's take other example. The cows. The archaea help it to digest the grass. When the cows have the grass, they eat, and when it stores chewed grass. Chew the grass when the cows eat the grass. Now, a compartment within its stomach, the organism break down the grass. The organism inside the cow break down the grass. And the organisms that live in cow stomachs are members of Archaea kingdom. Members of Archaea kingdom. So we have to point out a note. Even humans need bacteria. You have to know, any humans need bacteria. And archaea for what? For digestion. The bacteria in your intestines help you to breaking down the food. And so produce a vitamin K inside your body. Now, most archaea live in harsh environments. Such as, for example, hot spring, the basement, extremely salty water, deep sea vents, for example. All these examples. And archaea, what about archaea? Source of archaea. Archaea are descended from the oldest living organism on earth, from the ancient, Now, sorry. Protists are unicellular. We have talked about protists. Protists are unicellular or multicellular organisms that make their own food by itself, like the plants, or eat other organisms. The protist kingdoms contains unicellular organisms. The protist organisms. Okay. The protist kingdom contains unicellular organisms like bacteria and archaea. bacteria and archaea. Now, how do you tell these tiny organisms far away? How do you tell these tiny organisms far away? How to keep us, ourselves? First, the protists are much larger than bacteria. Protists are much larger than bacteria. There's an generous number, maybe 1,000, 100, 1 million of bacteria cells might fit into a typical protist. There's a generous number. So most protists are microscopes. Let's take an amoeba, for example. It needs microscope. Amoeba, it needs microscope. Now the second, the cells of protist have a central nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. Here we have to distinguish between plant and fungi and protists. Have simple body structures and lack specialized tissues. Here it is unlike animals. Don't like animals in this point. In this point, don't like animals. Okay. On other hand, typical protists include algae, amoeba, and slime molds. You can see on the figures. Ancient bacteria, true bacteria. Protist kingdom, plant-like, animal-like, fungi-like. Slime molds. Okay. There are plant-like, animal-like, and fungus-like protists. Algae are similar to plants. Algae are similar to plants. Have chlorophyll, make their own food. Now, amoeba. Other amoeba similar to animals. How it's still similar with animals? Number one, move from place to other place. The second, obtain food by eating other organisms, like the lime, for example. Fungus-like protists such as slime molds, for example. Slime molds, look to the chart, slime molds, break down dead organisms to obtain food. Break down dead organisms to obtain food. Now, what about a virus? What about virus? If we look to the chart, this is a virus. The virus is a bridge between living and non-living things. So that a lot of scientists can classify a virus in organisms so that they may seem alive. And a part of scientists believe that viruses are not living organisms for this reason. Now, what about classified of virus? The virus cannot be classified in any 6 kingdoms. What is the reason? Because the virus don't carry out all of the basic life processes. All of the basic life processes. For example, getting rid of waste, response to the environment, grow, use energy, the basic life, all this, the basic life. Now, viruses carry out only of these basic processes. One is reproduction. It's called reproduction only. It's so small, we need microscope to study the virus. Virus corona like in this time. There, the common cold is caused by virus, and some viruses are not harmful. Be careful. Some viruses are not harmful. Sometimes enter our body of living things and take some of its cells and cause to it get sick in the other way. Now, you have to distinguish between two kinds of viruses, harmful and useful. Now we are gonna to mention some serious dishes. One, chicken pox, polio, HIV/AIDS, sneezing and coughing, sent cold viruses from one person to other person. What can do? The virus, when the virus enters inside the cell, it takes a control of cells for all activities. It instructs the cell to produce more viruses. Over time, when the time passes, the cells becomes filled with a virus particles. After a time, and it bursts open. What this means? Bursts open. Then the released virus can invade other cells and causing infection and disease. Now we'll watch a video. Okay, thank you. Now we will move to the page 40. Page 40, you can put a highlight. Page 40. You can put a highlight. The main idea, there's two kingdoms, bacteria and archaea. Put the highlight. There's two kinds, useful and harmful. For example, the cows. It breaks down the grass inside the cow. Hurry up, put highlight in the page. This page from previous lessons. Page 41. Page 41. Protist kingdom. Bacteria and archaea. It has some properties of plant and the other from animals. There's a lot of numbers, maybe 100, 1000. Bacteria have a central nucleus. Protists have simple body structures. It needs tissues. Algae have chlorophyll. It's similar for the amoeba, similar for the animals. It can move from place to other place to obtain food by eating other organisms. Fungus like protists like slime molds break down dead organisms to obtain food. Now, we will answer quick check. A unicellular organism without a nucleus lives in the soil and breaks down waste material. Are these archaea or bacteria? Archaea or bacteria? Natural is bacteria. Bacteria. Write the answer. It's a bacterium. It's a bacterium. It does not live in a harsh environment. It doesn't live in a harsh environment. Write the answer for a quick check. It's a bacterium. It doesn't live in a harsh environment. Next question. What stops scientists from classifying plant-like protists as plants? Some are unicellular. The answer, some are unicellular and they lack specialized tissues and have simple body structures. I will repeat the answer. Some are unicellular and they lack specialized tissues and have simple body structures. Okay, now page 42. Page 42. What about viruses? We explained all this information. You can put highlight and write the answers for quick check. Explain why viruses are not classified into any of the 6 kingdoms. Okay, you can write the answer. They cannot perform all of the basic life processes. I repeat, they cannot perform all the basic life processes of growth. For example, use of energy, category of waste, and response to the environment. They can only carry out reproduction. Only carry out reproductions. Now, kindly open your workbook, page 8. Your workbook, page 8. Number 9. Number 9, I'll choose Yusuf Tamer. Page 8, number 9. Yusuf.
The two major groups into which plants are organized are vascular and non-vascular.
Excellent.
Like plants, fungi get food by breaking down dead organisms. A fungus that make bread rise is called
Thank you, thank you. Okay, thank you, Yusuf. You did well, thank you. Thank you, you did well. Number 12. Number 12. Abdullah Muhammad. Number 12.
Page what?
Page 8. Number 12. Page 8. Yeah.
What? Bacteria and unicellular organism with no or mitochondria.
Mitochondria,
Nucleus.
yes. Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Abdullah. Basim Hamada. Basim. Yes. Number 13.
The two kingdoms used to classify bacteria are true bacteria and ancient bacteria.
Yes, true bacteria and ancient bacteria. Thank you, Basim. Number 14. Number 14. Abdullah Dakar. Abdullah Dakar. Abdullah Dakar. Abdullah Dakar, don't send a request for control screen. Last warning, Abdullah Dakar. Amin Nabhan.
What? Any question?
Yes, number 14.
Protist can be unicellular or multicellular.
Yes. Process unicellular or multicellular. Yes, excellent. Number 15. Continue.
Unlike bacteria, protists have large cells, nucleus, and bond organelles.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, Abdurrahman Ismail. Abdurrahman Ismail.
Yeah, teacher.
Number 16.
Viruses are not classified as living organisms because they carry out no life process except
except reproduction. Only reproduction. It can carry out only reproduction.
okay.
Not the 5 basic, only reproduction. Number 17. Number 17. Choose. Okay. Badr Muhammad. Badr Muhammad. Badr. Badr Muhammad. Muhammad Saleh.
Nucleus or mitochondria. Plants make their own food. Bacteria cannot make their own food.
Okay. I'll repeat. Number 17. What makes plants and animals different from bacteria? Plants and animals are multicellular, but the bacteria are unicellular. There's a big difference between the both. Now, bacteria cells have no nucleus or mitochondria. Plants make their own food, but bacteria cannot make their own food. Transfer the answer because I will move to page 9. Hurry up, transfer the answer before I leave the page. Have you finished? Okay. Page 9. Page 9. Page 9. Bilal Hamdi.
Yes, Mister.
Read number 1.
Contains only closely related organisms. Species.
Species, yes, excellent. Yes. Number 2. Read number 2.
The broadest group into which an organism can be classified.
Yes. Kingdom. The largest or broadest kingdom. Number 3.
Kingdom.
Number 3.
Number 3, I read it also. Helps scientists identify, study group and identify, study group and name organisms.
Yeah.
Organisms.
Classification.
Classify.
Classification.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Bilal. Thank you,
Mister?
Bilal. Yes, Bilal.
But I still don't finish the highlight because you are so quickly.
Because we haven't a time, you can back to the record. You can back to the record of the lesson.
You record it?
Yes, all lessons is recording, and
okay.
I upload it on the platform. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Don't worry, my son, don't worry. Okay. Now, page, number 4. Number 4. Abdul Malik. Number 4, Abdul Malik.
Yes, Mister.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Yes.
Means contains tubes or vessels.
Yes. Vessels. F. Yes. F means vascular. F means vascular. Yes. Vascular.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Abdul Malik. Now, Munzir Fatih.
Yeah, Mister.
Read.
Okay.
Number 5.
Okay. Animal without a backbone.
Yes.
It
without invertebrate. Invertebrate. Invertebrate.
Invertebrate, yeah.
Number 6. Yes. Continue. Number 6.
Okay. Type of plant that tends to be small and close to the ground. It's
non-vascular. Non-vascular. Yes.
Yeah, Mister, I have a question. Just.
Yes.
Mister, I didn't finish page number 8.
Okay, you can back to the platform for recording of the lessons. You can get it.
But I want to say for you something. Just.
Okay. Now because we haven't the time.
Okay.
Okay. Number 7. Abdullah Muhammad. Number 7.
Yes.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Yes.
Animal with a backbone, nervous system.
Yeah.
nervous system, and brain.
Yeah.
Vertebrate.
Vertebrate. You will see vertebrate. Excellent. Number 8.
Organisms that carry out only one life process, reproduction.
Yeah.
Unicellular.
What? Only carries out only one life
Virus.
process. Virus. Yes.
Virus.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Virus. Virus. Okay. Page 10. Page 10. Page 10. I will choose. Yasin. Yasin Mahmoud.
Yes,
Yasin.
mister.
Read, please.
Living things are often similar to each other. Scientists classify living things by similarities into smaller, more specific groups. The largest group into which an organism is classified is its kingdom. The sixth kingdom include plants, animal, fungi, protists, true, bacteria, and um, ancient bacteria.
Ancient
Each
bacteria.
kingdom, each kingdom is divided into progressively small,
Progressively.
smaller groups as follows: for a phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. The
Okay.
narrowest group into which an organism can be classified is species. Two words make up the scientific name of a living thing. The first is the genus name. The second is the species name. The true bacteria and the ancient bacteria are unicellular organisms with no nucleus or mitochondria. Ancient bacteria usually live in very harsh environment which other organisms could not survive.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. You did well. Excellent. Now we have finished our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed with us. If you have any questions, you can ask. Good luck. Good luck, my sons. Start in your home. Study hard.
Bye, mister.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you for all. I was so happy with you. Thank you so much.